Hey everyone, and welcome to my first voiceover video. I know I'm not that active on YouTube, but I will try to change that. I have received products from Ohuhu. It's their markers with 120 colors. It has the classic tip, not the brush markers. This set is new, it has a new design. It's an additional color set to their 200 marker colors. I've shared a video about the 200 color set as well. It's on my channel. As you can see, this has more pastel colors. The marker design is slightly different, and the color names are written on the cap, which usually had only numbers written on them. Every marker set has one of these. You just put it behind the paper you're working on so that the colors don't bleed through to the paper you would have beneath. I've also received their sketchbook and I'm looking forward to using this one. You can't have enough sketchbooks, especially marker pads. Apparently this paper isn't bleed proof, so you just use that sheet that I had just shown you and put it between the pages. You can also tear off the pages from your marker pad, which I don't do. I mean, I like to keep the paper inside my sketchbook. And I must say this sketchbook is pretty heavy, so you probably won't be able to carry it around. This sketchbook has 78 pages, which is a lot, and the paper thickness is 200 GSM. So it's perfect for my use. I don't like working on thin paper. What I didn't know is that they have this sheet inside the sketchbook as well. It's the perfect size, the same size as the paper, so you can just put it behind the paper when you are coloring inside your sketchbook. I like the paper thickness and the structure of the paper, which is smooth. The sketchbook has a hard cover, and the cover has a different structure, which is also visible in the video, and I like how it feels. Before starting to color, I just want to show you the 200 marker set and the new set with 120 colors. With both sets you basically have all 320 markers. This is the color swatch of the new marker set. As you can see, the colors aren't really pastel. These are the product pictures, and as you can see, the colors look very light. That's why I thought those are pastel colors. That's why I always recommend swatching your markers, because they tend to look different from their caps. That's always the case, even for expensive brands like Copics. And these are the color swatches that I had done before for the 200 color set, including this small paper. The set ends with the pink color on the small paper. To be honest, you don't even need the additional set, but if you want to own each and every color, you can just buy it. Here I just wanted to show you both markers. They are basically identical. The new one has a slightly different design on the cap, and the caps have the color numbers written on them as well. Both the chisel and the fine tip are identical as well. For this review, I will use only the new set for an artwork, just to see if the new set is, has all the necessary colors to finish an artwork. There are some light flesh colors and also some dark skin colors that you could use. I believe this set could be used as a starter set. However, a black marker is missing, but we also have a colorless blender. I've already made a sketch in the sketchbook, and I've used Copic liners to line the artwork. I didn't show this process because sketching can take a lot of time and I want to keep the video short. I picked the lightest flesh color that was in the set and started to color the sketch. When coloring with markers, I always start off with the lightest color, and then I add the darker shades on top and then smooth it out with the lighter shade again. The quality of the markers is the same as the previous sets, only the caps are different, like I had shown you. To be honest, the classic tip markers have the same quality overall, in my opinion, be it Copic or any other brand. The difference is usually the ink. When you buy the cheapest classic tip markers, they run out of ink pretty quickly. And some of the markers could be empty in the set when you buy the cheapest one out there. With Ohuhu, they give you a guarantee that every marker is filled, and if you by chance receive a set with an empty marker, they send you a new set. I've been using their markers for over a year or maybe 2 years, I'm not sure, and none of the markers have run out of ink yet. They are really juicy. Unfortunately, they don't sell refills as of yet, but I've heard that they are working on it. I hope that they will have refills in the future, and especially for the brush markers. I keep using their brush markers. But you can buy single markers on their website. That means if you ever run out of ink, you can just buy that color as a single marker and you don't need to buy a complete set. About the marker sketch pad, I like the paper surface. It's really smooth and the paper itself doesn't take too much ink from your markers. What I mean by that is that if you use thick watercolor paper or mixed media paper, they usually suck out a lot of ink from your markers because the paper is made to take a lot of wet media like watercolors or I don't know, gouache and so on. And a paper like that can make it difficult to blend with your markers. That's why I always recommend using a marker paper. Usually I'm using a very smooth marker paper. This one has a normal structure, like, you know, similar to normal paper. That's why I feared that it could end up taking a lot of ink from my markers. However, that wasn't the case. That's why I'm really surprised, to be honest, and glad about it. The only downside is, in my opinion, and for me, for my style, that I can't apply too much ink. And if you've seen my marker coloring videos with the brush markers, mainly on Instagram, you would understand what I mean, because I'm, you know, shading like crazy. I'm adding all kinds of different shades and blending and all of that. I've tried doing that on this paper. It was quite difficult, to be honest, but I must add that most of the marker papers are similar to this one. You cannot add too much ink, you know, after a while the paper just doesn't take the ink. I guess no one adds that much ink the way I do. So, you know, if you're looking for a regular marker paper, this one is actually great compared to all the other ones that I've tried before. I can try to, you know, record a video with all the marker paper that I own and show you my favorites. I can already tell you that I will keep using this marker pad for similar drawings, for small drawings, and next time I would add flat colors only and shading with 2 to 3 markers at most. You can actually see here that I've used a single marker for her hair only, and I'm just shading with the same marker again, because once the color is dry, you can apply the same marker, and that way you can shade the parts that you want a little bit darker. My favorite part is adding the highlights for the eyes. I'm using Sakura Jelly Roll. I've also decided to add gold watercolor to her bracelet and ring because I didn't like the yellow shade and I like adding small details with gold. The gold watercolor I'm using is from Coliro, I think. For the background, I've decided to add acrylic gouache. It's from Turner. I've added just a little bit of yellow and mixed it together. I thought I was recording this part, but I wasn't. But yeah, it's just white and yellow. The reason why I've decided to apply gouache is that, first of all, I like, you know, mixing media. And second of all, I just want to see how the paper reacts to wet media. Acrylic gouache isn't that wet, at least I don't add that much water when I'm using it. And acrylic gouache is drying very quickly, so I was trying to work really fast on this one. That's why I didn't record the complete process. That's how the paper looks after I was done. And this is how the paper looks the next day after I, you know, close the sketchbook and let it flatten out a bit. So to sum it up, I like the quality of the marker pad. I will keep using it as a sketchbook. That means I won't tear off the pages. The marker pad costs around $19 on their website. They also have other alternatives with different sizes and also with a soft cover. As for the markers, I keep recommending them. They have great quality for less money, and if you prefer brush markers over the classic tip, you have to try those out as well. For starters, I recommend buying a big set like this one, and if you already have a starter set, you can buy additional small sets like the skin color set. They have all kinds of variations. If you've watched the entire video, do let me know how you find the review. It's my first voiceover and I could use the feedback. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next.